Hello! Hello!
And welcome back to our family services. And this week's theme is...
David, part 2.
Finally, I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to complete the story of David. How long has it been, Reverend Mark?
It's been 4 weeks, 4 whole weeks.
That's a really long time to wait between stories.
It is, because we've had Palm Sunday, Easter Day, and some of us have had too much chocolate as well.
Oh, yeah. I think I've had a bit too much chocolate. Yeah. So, I haven't got the best memory, Reverend Mark.
Haven't you?
No.
Never noticed that you don't have the best memory.
No, I really don't have a very good memory. And that means that I've kind of forgotten a little bit about the last time we did David.
Okay, yeah,
So
it's been
could
4 weeks, long
It has
time,
been 4
long
weeks.
time.
It has been 4 weeks. So can we watch a story that has a little bit of that and the next bit of our story?
That would be really good. So we get reminded about Goliath and what happens in David's story next. That'd be really good. So, if you watch the video there, and we watch the video here, and when we see you when you get back. Bye.
Slapstick Theater, David and Jonathan. This is Jonathan.
Hey!
Who was the son of King Saul and a warrior in Israel's army. This is David,
Hey!
who would later become the king of Israel.
Huh?
After David defeated a great giant, he was brought before King Saul and he met Jonathan. They immediately became friends.
Yeah!
And Jonathan made a pact with David and showed him that by giving David his robe and weapons.
Oh, hang on.
From that time on, David was successful in all he did.
Oh!
And King Saul became jealous of David and very angry. Saul wanted his servants and Jonathan to get rid of David, but because Jonathan loved his friend David, he warned David of what his father was planning.
Oh,
Jonathan went to his father, King Saul, and talked him out of harming David.
okay.
For a time, David was safe from King Saul's plans.
Phew.
But not long after, the king's jealousy and anger came back, and he tried to kill David.
Whoa!
David got away, and his friend Jonathan came to help him.
Hang on there.
Jonathan tried again to talk his father out of hurting David.
No.
But now King Saul was convinced he needed David to be gone. Jonathan was angry and sad that his father would not let his friend go. And he knew that David would have to go into hiding and run from King Saul. Jonathan met David one last time, and the two cried and said their goodbyes. Jonathan told David to go in peace and that they had a special bond in God's name. Then David left and lived a life on the run from King Saul, and Jonathan returned to the town. Even though they were separated, the two were the best of friends and were an encouragement to one another.
Yeah!
That was a really, really good video, and I thought Jonathan and David were incredible friends.
They were. So we're going to talk about that now. But first, Reverend Layla, would you like a cup of tea?
Let's have a cup of tea. Thank you so much, everyone.
There
So kind.
we go.
Thank you.
And I'll have a cup of tea as well. That'd be wonderful.
What did you think, Reverend Mark, was the most extraordinary thing about David and Jonathan's friendship?
Well, I think the most extraordinary thing about their friendship was that their friendship, they stayed friends all the way through everything they happened to each other. So they still stayed friends when Jonathan's father did not like David and wanted to try and kill David. Jonathan was still David's very, very, very good friend, very special friend.
Yeah, and I'm sure Jonathan loved his father too, didn't he? He just also really loved David, his friend.
Yes, he definitely loved his father to do what his father wanted him to do, but he couldn't because that means his friend David was going to get hurt and he couldn't do that. So he still loved his father, but he had to say, "No, father, this is wrong. You can't do that to my friend David."
So we have two examples of love there, don't we? Because
We
have
do.
the love that actually stands up for someone who's in danger or
Yes.
someone's being mean about them. And then there's also the love that says to someone, actually, no, I think what you're doing here is wrong. And that's also important, isn't it?
It is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows that friendship is not just when things are going well, but friendship is always, even when things are going badly. So a friend, there's an old saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So that means when your friend's going and having problems, you go and help your friend, you support your friend, you look after your friend, because your friend will do that to you if you're having problems as well.
Exactly. Now, what does that friendship tell us about God's friendship with us?
Well, that friendship says that God is going to be our friend always. And it does, so he'll be our friend when things are going really well, and he'll celebrate everything going really well, but he's our friend when things go wrong. And he's that special friend that you can go and tell when things are going wrong, and you can tell him what's happening, and you also can ask him for help.
Yeah.
And that's what the type of friend God is. Just like Jonathan was a friend to David, God is the same sort of friend to us.
That's amazing. So even though we've been in a difficult time at the moment, haven't we, with having to stay at home and
Yes.
that kind of thing, and having to wear masks everywhere if you're a grown-up,
Yeah.
God has still been there with us, hasn't he?
Yes, because what God does, he's such a good friend, though we can't see him, he travels alongside us. So he's always with us and always that friend for us.
So maybe now we should have a song about how God is our friend.
I think that would be wonderful. I'm really looking forward to that. Will there be any actions? Because I do like actions.
There might be actions.
There might be
There'll
actions.
definitely be a chance to do a little bit of a dance, but I can't remember if they're actions, so we'll have to wait and see.
Is that because your memory's not very good, as you told us before?
Yeah.
Wow, that makes it even more exciting. Because
Exactly.
even Reverend Leda can't remember what the song's going to be. How
No.
exciting!
But we'll sing the song here, and you'll sing it there, and we'll see you back here in a second. Bye-bye.
Who am I that you are mindful of me? That you hear me when I call? And is it true that you are thinking of me? How you love me? It's amazing. Who am I that you are mindful of me? That you hear me when I call? Yeah. Is it true that you are thinking of me? How you love me? It's amazing. You are mindful of me, that you hear me when I call, yeah. And is it true that you are thinking of me, how you love me? It's amazing, so amazing, it's amazing. I am a friend of God.
I hope you enjoyed that song. And wasn't it really good to hear about being God's friend and God's our friend? Wonderful.
So after that song, should we ask Reverend Penny to come and give us a challenge and a prayer?
That'd be wonderful. Hang on a minute, Reverend Penny.
Reverend Penny!
Reverend Penny. Oh, look, she's zooming in.
Oh, yeah,
Hello, Reverend Penny.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see you again. Now, Reverend Mark and Reverend Layla have been talking about Jonathan and David, haven't they? And about friends. I wonder how many friends you think you have if you counted them up. And I wonder who your best friend is. I've got your challenge this week, and thinking about friendship and the people that you count as your friends, that you're friendly with, your challenge this week, I'm wanting you to, when you find somebody who is feeling sad or upset, unhappy, or who's going through a bit of a difficult time, I want you to be friendly towards them and particularly kind and sensitive to the fact that they're not feeling happy. After all, thinking about David and Jonathan, Jonathan was a real friend to David when King Saul hated David, wasn't he? But what we've got to remember that's really important, and when I asked at the beginning of this, I wonder who your best friend is, my best friend is God. God is our friend all the time, whether we're happy or we're sad or upset, or whether we're angry. And so in good times and in bad, God is always there with us, helping us, loving us through the times, whether they're good or they're bad. That's this week's challenge then. And now we're going to have our special prayer. So close your eyes or look at something in the room and put your hands together. And now we'll pray. Dear God, thank you for always being our friend, for being kind to us, whether we're happy or we're sad, for always being there with us, someone we can always turn to and speak to and say how we feel. As we go forward to our challenge this week, help us, God, to be kind, friendly, and sensitive to someone who perhaps is not feeling happy, who's feeling sad, or just needing a good friend. Amen. And now we say with Reverend Mark and Reverend Layla, Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Penny, for that great challenge and prayer. It's good to have the challenges back, isn't it?
It is very good to have the challenges back. Really good to have the challenges back. So,
we hope you've enjoyed worshipping with us today. And we look forward to seeing you next week when our theme will be
Esther.
I'm very, very excited to look at the story of Queen Esther. She's one of my favourite Bible characters.
Wow, well, that'd be really exciting then. And in the Bible, is Esther in the Old Testament or the New Testament?
Esther is in the Old Testament, but she's really important because what Esther did made sure that God's people survived to go all the way through to the New Testament as well.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So Esther's in the Old Testament, the same as David and Ruth.
Exactly,
Wow.
and Joseph.
And Joseph, yeah, look at that. That's quite amazing. Lots of Old Testament. So let us now say goodbye. We're glad that you were here this week, and we look forward to seeing you next week at our family service. Hopefully to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye-bye.